So my dudes, Valk here, and today, if you guys have never watched me before, if you guys are new, this is Evil Dead the game. This game is an absolute blast. I am loving it. You can see by my character collection that I am leveling like crazy. I love this game. I'm in level 27 Necromancer, level 19 Lord Arthur. Those are my two favorite characters to play right now. And I'm going to be doing a killer guide today. Now, how you play the evil is what they're called in this game, or the demons. How you play the demon. Basically, you're going to spawn in, right? Spawn in, there's going to be nobody around you. It's going to be a completely empty area, and they don't really tell you where they are. You have to try to find them. Now, the way you're going to find them is you're going to look out for noise. You want to, like, open up your map instantly, zoom all the way out, and you're going to look out for noise. You're going to look out for them driving a car, shooting a gun, etc., making some form of a noise. And then they'll appear on your map. You can go to them. Adversely, what I like to do is I just kind of guess. I look where it spawns me, normally spawns you on one side or the opposite side of where they are. You place a ping on the exact opposite side of the map and you start hitting area by area by area as you're going through the map until you find them. Now, once you find them as the demon, as the killer, you are going to want to level up. You're not trying to actually fight them yet, you're just trying to farm them for levels. You just want to scare them a bunch, you want to get a bunch of levels, you want to start getting that level up, you want to start putting those points in to try to get really, really strong. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to go ahead and place a ton of traps. Now, the reason we do traps is not to scare them, actually. Like I said, we're not trying to possess them because possessing takes too much of your little demon influence bar, which, by the way, while you're zooming around, try to grab as many orbs as you can. I mean, that's in a tutorial, so I'm not going to cover that too much. Try to grab as many of those orbs as you can. You want to try to stay stopped out. But that's because the traps are really good resource economy. Traps cost 35. They only cost 35 of those points to actually use, of the demon points to use, and they summon a basic infantry. Meanwhile, if you were to actually raw summon one through a portal, it costs, for me, 96, but I have some stuff to negate the cost, so for some people it's probably going to cost like 110 until you get the levels. So, whenever you're leveling, it depends on your character. For me personally, I like to go Possession and Boss Unit right away because the boss, Evil Ash for Necromancer, is so ungodly strong. And I also like the full send on the basic portals because once you get basic portals max, you get 3 units or 3 enemies per basic portal, which is really, really, really good. Because you kind of just, with the Necromancer specifically, you want lots of bodies on the field for Evil Ash to fully take care of his abilities. Now, as you're harassing them, as they're going around finding the map pieces, you want to keep harassing them. You don't really... Most of the time, I know a lot of demons like to possess the cars, but you kind of want to follow them to the next location, try to take a guess, and the second you see them pull up, you want to start setting traps, that way you can farm more levels. Now, if you're there in a position where you have lots of traps surrounded, you can take the car from them and make them walk to the next area where a car is, place that car, and go ahead and start setting traps there. Another thing I like to do as the Necromancer, this one's more Necromancer specific. I'll be making an entire video about how to just murder people in the Necromancer, but I wanted to make a video first for the demons because I see a lot of people, the game's brand new, they don't really have an understanding of how to play. I use the Necromancer's flutist. I understand he makes a noise, and anybody that's smart that's been playing this game for a little bit knows the second you hear that noise to go kill it. So I'll put that noise and surround it with traps. I'll go ahead, put the flutist down just in some random area and surround him with traps. That way I can get them to walk into traps that may be off the beaten path, that may be over to the side, because there's lots of traps in this game that really don't make sense of their placement. So I try to use the flutist to try to lure them over there. That way they walk into the traps trying to kill the flutist. If they shoot the flutist, feels bad, man, but most people will try to save bullets and go melee the flutist. So that's one thing to really look out for. And then, finally, whenever they get all 3 pieces, here is where all hell breaks loose. Because now they are going to go for the dagger and the book. So, a very smart survivor team is going to do a really, really scummy thing. They're going to split up. If they split up, you have to pick the team that has the better characters, that has like the better carries, and you have to focus them. Because what's going to happen is you're going to lose an objective 100% if they split up. Now, if they don't split up, if they all huddle to one single objective, then you're sitting pretty as the Necromancer specifically. Basically all the demons do really well whenever the enemies or the survivors are all grouped up. all the enemies or all the survivors being grouped up is really, really good for all of them for the objective contestant. Ideally, as Survivor, you don't want to group up. Just letting you guys know, if you're playing Survivor, make sure you guys are splitting up for these objectives you're meant to. So, whenever it comes to the dagger and the lost pages, this is where you're your strongest as a Necromancer. You should be just now getting your boss. Your boss should be somewhat ramping up, and if you have a really good run, you are going to get so many levels off of this, and that is the entire point. So, whenever you're contesting the point, specifically as a Necromancer, the way you want to use a Necromancer boss, you want to go around. Well, first, you want to know what point they're going to. Then you want to go around, set up every trap you can. Get there before them, and start setting up all the traps. Because as you overload the area with the boss and everything, people are going to be backing out and spreading out. They're going to be stepping into traps that you have around the area. There's a reason you want to set all of them up. Also, you can set units by holding L2 or R2 on console and hitting square. You can set them. You can only place one of each type of unit as like a pseudo trap, but they will sit there until they are proximity activated. So you can set those around as well. Just make sure that you are using the square button for that. And then whenever all hell breaks loose and they finally activate it, for the Necromancer specifically, you want to, like I said before, set the flutist, set them somewhere off to the side, and make sure there's a trap separating, so if somebody goes to kill the flutist, you at least have a lot of time. Now, if they don't kill the flutist, they're dead. I'm going to let you know that right now. The flutist is too strong of a buff. There's too many skeletons for what you're about to do with the Evil Ash, but the flutist is way too strong of a buff. Now, here's where you're going to be your absolute best. Summon in all your minions. Hit your L2X 2 times, summon that one in. Hit your R2X 2 times, summon that one in. And then summon in Granddaddy himself, Evil Ash. The second Evil Ash comes in, hit your triangle button, which is going to summon even more skeletons. Then hit your square button to pop that radius. What that radius does, that AoE does, any skeleton that dies in that radius gets instantly revived. So nothing is killable anymore on the point, and you are the king of point contestant. And if they sit there and try to fight Evil Ash, they will all die. Evil Ash is by far, probably in my opinion, the strongest of the demons whenever it comes to just contesting a point, because of the amount of allies or enemies he can just spawn in and keep there due to his AoE. It's incredibly powerful. I think Puppeteer is extremely annoying with the teleportation, but I do think Evil Ash is probably the stronger of the two, just because of how easily he can instantly wipe teams off of them not paying attention, or off of them not ignoring a flutist. If you ignore a flutist in this situation, you are absolutely dead. Now, normally what happens here, at least against a good team, you will probably lose the dagger and the book. If you do, do not worry, because that means you've been wiping them some, you've been getting some kills here and there. If they end up, this match specifically didn't end up going, but I'm going to talk about it as like time goes on. If they end up making it to the old ones, whenever you fight the old ones, you can no longer be revived. As long as you are in combat with the old ones, or the book is exposed. If the book is exposed, they can no longer revive. So that means if you knock them, they're done. So if you're doing these exact combos and stuff with Necromancer, like I said, they are absolutely done. But, as always, with the old ones, and once you go to the next area, let's say they take the dagger, and then they go into Lost Pages, go to Lost Pages, start setting up lots and lots of traps. All of them. The longer they take, the better. That's just more traps for you to set up. And once all the traps are set up, then you're finally able to just kind of wait on them. Like I said, I like to use the flutist to try to lure people everywhere. As far as like possessing the survivors, you kind of want to pick and choose your moments when you possess, because possessing takes a lot of resources. Whether you realize or not, it takes 50 initial, and then it ticks down every second you are possessing them. It takes a ton of infernal energy. It does. So possessing is something if you want to do. If you see one guy with a really strong build who is just like eating all of your damage and not taking any, like Henry the Red's a really good example. He's definitely a high target for me. Like, he's a high value target for me to possess, because if you can eliminate the tank, then everyone's going to de-aggro off the tank, and they're going to go ahead and focus all the other guys. So if you, let's say they beat out your Evil Ash, and then you're still summoning stuff in, trying to get stuff going, if you can possess one of their high tanky targets or one of their people that are just doing tons of damage and mowing down your allies, mowing down your skeletons, your puppets, whatever. If you can get rid of the strongest person through possession, then you are good. But you have to pay really close attention. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. Hopefully this video, it kind of explains it all, because this is going to be... I actually try to make this video quick, and it's really not quick. It's almost as long as the entire video, as the match. I try... Basically, hopefully this video explains everything, and hopefully you guys become amazing demons. If you guys have any questions, ask in the comment section below. That's what I'm here for. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.